Hey everybody, Donny B, Learn Pro Recording. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to talk to you about getting that intern gig at any studio. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time of year when everybody's thinking about graduating school or finishing up for the year. They want to get into a summer intern program or an assistant program, or say you've gone to an audio school and you want to try to get the gig at the studio in your neighborhood, the favorite studio that you like in your town, in your city. So I'm going to give you some tips and some tricks from an actual studio owner. My name is Donny B. I am the owner of ES Audio Recording Studios in Los Angeles, California. And as of last Sunday, we can now say we are a Grammy-winning studio. This is correct, ladies and gentlemen. We talked a little bit about it last week. I didn't really want to mention anything about it, but yeah, we won the category that we were nominated for. An album that was recorded and mixed here in our studio. Won a Grammy. So that's exciting news for us, exciting news for the artist, and we're having a good time with it. With the weather the way it is now, I've got this little cough congestion thing going on, so bear with me on that one. It's kind of rough. I got some tea right here. I'm all set. But today I wanted to talk to you about basically how to get into any studio as an intern or an assistant, because I know right now, this is the end of the year. We're averaging like 3 to 5 resumes a week from students that are finishing up their programs, and their job placement assistance guy at their school is having them send resumes out to studios in their neighborhood. So we do get a lot of resumes. I see a lot. A lot of them I just don't even look at them. And some of the I'm going to run through. There's 8 tips I'm going to run through. I'm also going to make this downloadable. I'll put a link right here. You guys can go download this PDF and have it and study it. I'm just going to paraphrase on it a little bit, but you guys can go read it. It's pretty decent. It's going to help you get into the studio. It's going to help you stand out into the crowd of all the other interns that are sending resumes and cover letters to the studios. So if you're ready to get going, let's discuss. Okay, tip number 1. Do some research. It's real simple. Just do a little bit of research into the studio that you want to send your resumes to. Okay, it's okay that you send resumes to more than one studio, but when you do, make sure that you blind carbon copy. I myself don't want to see that you sent the same resume to just a grip of people. It's like fishing. You throw your line out there, maybe something will bite. If I see that, I'm not biting. So keep that in mind, okay? But do a little research, man. Find out maybe in your introductory letter, we're going to talk a little bit more about introductory letters and cover letters here in a sec, but in your cover letter, in your introductory letter, let the studio manager know that isn't directed to me, directed to my name. Find out my name because you did some research on the website. Directed directly to me. So attention, Donny B, that kind of thing, okay? Or the studio manager, whoever, okay? But direct it to a person. Don't just direct it. Don't just randomly send a resume out to a bunch of people. So maybe mention some of the artists that we've worked with. Maybe mention some of the gear that we have in one of our studios, and you're like, oh, hey, dude, it's something simple like, hey, dude, I love see you guys have a Tube Tech CL1B in your main room. Dude, that's one of my favorite compressors. I love using it for vocals. Whatever. Show me that you're interested. Show me that you actually want to be here because you have done a little research. It shows me a little hustle. It shows me that you're ready to actually do this thing, okay? So, tip number 2, man. Check and double check your spelling and your grammar. This is a huge thing. I mean, seriously, you're supposed to be a college graduate and you are spelling things like you're texting your friend. Instead of you are, you're texting it with the letter U and letter R. Don't do that. When I see that, I trash it. I don't go any further. I don't want to hear from you. Look, no offense to anyone out there, but that's the way that it is. And now if you're talking to your homies and having a good time, things like you're texting your girlfriend, whatever, you're texting your boyfriend, whatever. Do text however you like to text. But when you're sending a professional resume to a professional studio, a professional Grammy-winning studio, be a little more professional in that area, okay? So just pay attention, all right? There was a studio in Hollywood called The Record Plant years ago, the 80s and 90s. Dude, that was the place to intern. If you were coming up at that time in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, here in Los Angeles, the Record Plant is where you wanted to be. Dude, the wait list was forever. You basically had to wait for somebody to die off to get an internship at the Record Plant. But it was prestigious. The interns that came from there were known as interns that knew their stuff. Rose Mancherney was the manager of that place, dude, and she ran that place like a military camp. interns just came out of there and they all went somewhere else. And after their internship, they'd go somewhere else and be accepted. Like, oh shit, you were an intern at the record plant. Oh, please come work for me. You know, that kind of thing. It was very prestigious. All right, we talked a little bit about this earlier. Tip number 3 is include an introductory letter or a cover letter with your resume. Okay. Just introduce yourself. Hey, my name's Billy Bob. I just finished school. I just went to Full Sail. I just graduated from Full Sail. But why should I look at you, Billy Bob? I mean, what makes you kind of stand out? You know what I mean? So you need to understand that on your resume, I don't really care about stupid stuff no, oh, look, okay, let me rephrase that. It's not really stupid. But I don't care about things that happen to you in, like, kindergarten. You don't need to tell me that you won your first grade spelling bee. I really don't. It's not relevant to what we're talking about today. So you can kind of keep that off your resume. Let's keep your resume short and sweet, to the point. Okay? Look, don't go get mad at me about this stuff, too, because, I mean, I'm known in this arena as having no filter. So I kind of tell people what I feel. I kind of tell people what it is, and I'm not trying to hide. I'm not trying to hold back, because whatever I tell you today and whatever I'm telling you here is only meant with love to help you get that intern gig. Okay, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just trying to show you and tell you things that I see and that I have to deal with as a studio owner and manager of what you should do and should not do to get this gig. Okay, so hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully you're not going to get mad at me, man, but hopefully I'm only trying to help. Okay, so tip number 4. Remember what Grandma always said, man. Squeaky wheel get the grease. So get out there, ladies and gentlemen, be squeaky. What I mean by this is maybe you're sending your resume out to a bunch of different studios, okay? Maybe you're just blind carbon copying all like 10, 20 studios in your neighborhood. Cool. What I want to see from you, and like I said earlier, man, I get 3 to 5 per day. At this time of year, you know, the springtime, I'm getting 3 to 5 resumes per day. If the guy calls me, if a person sends me a resume, and then a couple of days later they call me, they do a follow-up call. Hey, you know, and they ask me by name, which is cool because that means they did their research. Yeah, this is Donny B. What can I do for you? Hey, I sent my resume off to you a couple of days ago. I just want to make sure you got it, make sure you saw it. I want just making sure there wasn't any, you know, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if there's something I can elaborate on in the resume that maybe, you know, I didn't go too far in the resume with it. But I'm just letting you know that I'm very interested in meeting with you. I'd love to come down and see your studio one day and that kind of thing. Dude, what that shows me is that you're a hustler. It shows me that you really, really want this gig. And that you're the guy that I want. You're the person I want to work here because you hustled. You reached out. You touched on it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Be squeaky. Make some noise. Tip number 5. Okay, so you got an in-person interview with me, the studio owner. You sent me a resume, kind of looked cool. You followed up with a call, showed me some hustle. So I invited you down to come down and interview with me, to meet with me. Just to see if you like the studio, see if you like me, see if I like you. I mean, the studio might not be a fit for you. You never know, you know, that kind of thing. So, dude, be professional when you show up for this. First of all, we're going to talk about this in a second too, but be professional, you know. Don't show up like you're just on your way to the beach. I don't want to see that, you know what I mean? But also don't show up like you're going to the prom right after either. You know, you don't need a suit and a tie. This ain't that kind of gig. You know, if you were maybe interviewing for a sales position at a car dealership or something, you might want to dress up. But this ain't that. All right? So keep that in mind. But be professional, you know? Another tip is don't show up smelling like you just put the blunt out on the way in. You know what I mean? Maybe save that for some other time, but maybe not when you're coming to meet with the studio owner, okay? Again, on the other extreme, don't smell like you just don't smell like you're hitting the club right after either. Don't just kind of, you know, try to cover stuff up with perfume and cologne and things like that. You know what I mean? Also, the other side of that, don't smell like you just came from the gym. You know what I'm saying? You got to be neutral in the scent department, in the smell department, okay? So, again, not trying to piss anybody off, not trying to make anybody mad, just trying to help y'all get the gig. You know what I'm saying? One sec. Throat coat tea, man, really helps with that, whatever the thing's going on, is an allergy or something, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, tip number 6. Okay, so you got the gig as an intern. We've invited you down. We put you on the schedule. What's next? Dude, be on time. Look, we live in Los Angeles. And if you call with the excuse that, oh, shit, there's traffic. Bro, we live in LA. There's always traffic. You know this. You live in Los Angeles. If you've been here for 10 minutes, you know there's traffic. You just got off the bus from wherever. There's traffic. You're like, oh, traffic. This is Los Angeles. That's what we're known for. Sunshine and traffic. You know, so here's the deal. We have a saying in this industry. If you're on time, or if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're fired. And that is definitely the truth. 100% the truth. If you are, I'm going to tell you this one more time just in case you missed it. Okay. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're fired. Okay? So if my client, if you're an engineer that's working for me at my studio, and the client is sitting here waiting for you to show up because you're late, that is probably the last time I'm ever going to call you in to work for me. You know, it's just, it doesn't look good. It doesn't reflect good on me if my engineers are late. I like my engineers to be here 30 minutes before the gig, at least, because you know the client's going to show up a little early. I mean, they're excited, dude. They're going to the studio. That's what they do. You know, they get excited about going in the studio. So they're usually going to show up early because they know there's traffic. They're going to leave a little bit earlier. Just saying, okay? So don't be late. You know, if you're late, as an intern, kind of got a little more leeway there. Kind of got a little bit of padding, but if you're late all the time, that's not really showing me your hustle, you know? So let's try to be on time or early when you get, you know, when you're in. I got an intern. And I can count on this guy to show up 30 minutes early. If I book him at 11 a.m., he's here at 10:30 every time. And you know who I'm talking about. And look, that's an awesome trait to have. So just get into that mode and stay in that mode, okay? Just always be 30 minutes early. Doesn't matter where you're coming from, there's going to be traffic. That way, if you leave an hour early or at 30 minutes early, if there is an accident or something heavy on the like heavier traffic than normal, then you're kind of set, you know? So no big deal. Tip number 7. Dude, make yourself valuable and irreplaceable. Just be that guy. Be that intern that just does stuff without being asked. That the owners and the other engineers and the managers around here are going, bro, what this guy, man, damn. Like we had one guy, man, and he was just an intern. He didn't go to a school. He called and he said, hey, I'd like to intern at your studio. I liked his vibe, you know. So I invited him down for an interview, and we took him on as an intern, and then, dude, when he'd come in pretty much every day. He had pretty much a set schedule every day. He'd come over, and the first thing he'd do after he said hello was he'd go to the trash can, make sure the trash can was acceptable, make sure it wasn't full. If it was full, he'd take the trash out. Next thing, he'd grab the vacuum and vacuum the hallways without even being asked. He would just do it. He'd go, oh, I need to grab the vacuum. Dude, this guy just hustled and hustled. You know, he was an intern for probably 6-8 months before we let him start engineering sessions. But, man, then we started letting him engineer sessions, and he jumped right in. When he wasn't actually taking out trash or, you know, filling up the waters in the fridge or lighting the candles or whatever, vacuuming the hallway, he was on YouTube learning how Pro Tools worked. He wanted to know everything about everything. He was in there studying the patch bay when nobody was out. Nobody was in the studio. He's in there, like, practicing his patches just to see what he's got going on with patch bays and stuff like that. This guy just definitely stuck out as the hustler and the intern. That was probably, he was probably here as an intern 5-6 years ago. The dude now has a key, and he's one of my main engineers. He's here all the time. He's a guy that I can call in. I know he's going to handle business. I know he's going to take care of it. He's a guy that I can trust to run late night sessions because I know I can trust him to lock the door and put things away and turn things off properly. He's my guy, okay? And he does make pretty decent money here. And he's a dude that you know, if he were to find another gig and go to another studio, I might be sad because I would miss that guy. He's pretty awesome. There's some of these things I'm going to talk to you about next week on how to get the gig and how to keep the gig. This is all part of that as well. But, you know, so next week's podcast, next Sunday, we're going to talk a little bit more about this stuff in general, too, because this is that time of year that we need to talk about these kind of things, okay? So there's an alternative, tip number 8. There's an alternative to the other guy in tip number 7. That's the guy that maybe shows us that maybe we made a mistake by asking him to come over and intern with us, you know what I mean? So, you know, they just come in and they only want to work on their own stuff. They seem to get a little upset when they come in for an intern shift and there's no studio for them to go work on their stuff. You know, I mean, that's okay. But at the same time, you can't really be pissed off about that. I mean, we're letting you, you know, we're giving you free studio time. When the studio is not being used, please learn your craft. Let's get in there. I'll come in there with you, man. I'll show you how to mix on an analog console. I'll show you some stuff that you maybe don't know about with the patch bay. I'll show you things. That's why I'm here. I love teaching. I love showing. I mean, look, I'm giving this stuff to you guys today. You know, these are great tips that I'm giving away to help you guys grow and to become. You know, hopefully one of you, maybe one of you guys want to intern here at my studio. Send me a resume. Make sure you do your research. Mention me by name. You know, do a follow-up call. Come on. These are simple tips that I'm giving you to help you get pretty much into any studio as an assistant or an intern. Okay. This other guy, maybe we let him sit in a session with a band or something, and the band's cool with it, so we let him sit in, watch the engineer. Then this guy's going to ask a bunch of questions. He's going to talk to the engineer while the engineer's trying to do work. Then, you know, he might give some tips to the guitar player on how to tune his guitar better. Yeah, dude, that's the last session you're sitting in, I promise. You know, don't be like that guy. You're not going to be here long, man. Be like the first guy. Come in, take the trash out, run the vacuum, ask before you get to touch anything, that kind of thing, okay? So there's a couple of, you know, again, it's common sense. It's simple. Understand as an intern, you know, we're allowing you to be here. We're gracefully asking you to come in and hang out with us so that you can learn a craft and maybe become the next, you know, lead engineer that I've got here that has a key to my front door. You know, maybe that. So there is that. So what's next? Well, hopefully you guys get some ideas from these tips. I want you to go right now and download this PDF. It's www.learnprorecording.com/intern. Download the PDF. You'll see what I'm talking. There's a lot more in it than what I talked about here today. But go grab that. Enjoy it. Let me know if you have any questions. Reach out to me. info@learnprorecording.com. I'll put a link right here so you guys can email me if you need to. There's more content on learnprorecording.com. So if you're watching this and you're not signed up to Learn Pro Recording, go get signed up, man. That puts you on the email list, and you get things like this in your email inbox every week. Okay. Plus, you get access when you're signed up. You get access to we do a monthly workshop. We do a monthly group coaching. We just did one. We just did one Friday. This whole month, man, I'm doing a what I call a Friday morning live in the studio. And yesterday was just more than about me just talking about stuff. I actually we actually got these mics, the 12-gauge microphone. There's the 12-gauge microphone company, 12gaugemicrophones.com. I'll put a link here. You guys can go check that guy out. Brad's a pretty cool guy. He's a boutique mic company. He basically makes I should have had some in here. Sorry. He makes microphones out of 12-gauge shotgun shells, expelled 12-gauge shotgun shells. He's not going to do one that's live, but you know, and dude, they're just, not only do they look cool as hell, but they work really well. We did a thing where this was a viewer asked if we would do this, and we did it. So if you guys have any suggestions about what you want to see on the podcast or see on the live or whatever, reach out, man. Let me know, because somebody asked if we would do a live where we mic'd up the entire drum kit just using 12-gauge microphones. Dude, I was surprised. I was thinking, nah, there's no way I can make a kick drum sound good with this little tiny microphone. Bro, I was pleasantly surprised. I would actually use these as a gig for a record and be happy, be very happy with it. Some of these were awesome. I do plan to use some of these in my daily in my drum recordings. I do plan to use a couple of them, but no offense, Brad, but I still have my favorite kick drum mic. We'll discuss this some other time as well. If you guys go dig deep into the YouTube channel, there is a There is a studio tour where I just highlighted all the microphones that we have, and some of that's in there, but don't go look at that. I'm going to redo that, man. That one was like, that was early on in my YouTube career, if you want to call it that, and I kind of sucked. Man, you guys want to laugh? Go back and look at some of go back and look at some of my first YouTube, things, man. It's just funny. I apologize, but it's just funny. It's kind of funny but it's kind of cool too to see the growth. I mean, just look how cool. I mean, I'm getting better with lighting, camera angles, and audio. This mic actually isn't even doing anything. I've got another mic right here that you can't see. So this mic's just for show. I'm hoping maybe Rode one day will throw something out. Go, oh, this guy's got some stuff in his video. He's showing our name. So yeah, no, that's what. It's just kind of funny. Come on, man. So hey, listen. Go get signed up. LearnProRecording.com. Sign up for free. The free thing you're getting there is the free thing right now is the studio growth formula. Dude, I'm showing you I'm telling you exactly how to grow your studio from working in your bedroom or working in your dining room to a full-blown commercial facility without a bunch of money up front. I mean, look, I don't come from money. I'm not like super rich, but I've built this, 4-room facility, 2,200 square feet, and we're busy. We just won a Grammy. All this started on my dining room table with a laptop and a USB microphone. So it can be done. You can do it. I'm showing you how. I'm giving you the tools to build your own studio and to grow your own studio. Hashtag quit your day job, ladies and gentlemen. Come do this full time. Start out as an intern. Learn your craft. Once you get into a studio, stay in that studio. Build yourself into a job that the studio owner doesn't want to let you go. The studio owner would be sad if you left. So build yourself into that. Grow, become, again, do this for your living. This is amazing. If anybody has any interest in this whatsoever, I suggest coming over, enjoying it. So try it. Download the stuff. Download this PDF. Go grab the stuff go grab the studio growth formula that's on the website right now. Again, that's www.learnprorecording.com. Get that. There's a big blue button there. It says, tell me where to send your free guide. Click that. You're going to give me your email. I'm going to send you the thing immediately. So you get it like right there. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, have a great week. We will see you, I may see you on the blog post on Wednesday. I'll definitely see you next Friday. Next Friday, we're going to kind of continue this discussion in the live. That'll be live Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So come join me on that one. It'll be fun. We'll just hang out. I'll be there to answer. That way you guys can ask questions live. I can answer your question live on the air. So let me know. Hey, have a great week, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk to you soon. My name is Donny B. I'm out. Peace.